What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and I got this here today because if I don't, then got blinded by the light, right? So we gotta improvise here. And as you see by the title below, we're going to talk about psychological tricks. Okay? I've been saying trips a lot lately. I don't know why. Psychological trips, but psychological tricks to get a guy to like you. Okay? And I said some of these in these videos before, but I wanted to add some things and I wanted to put them all in one plate. Well, not all of them, but top 5 things in one place, so you can just watch this, go over it, see what you need to do, and understand why it works. Okay, so number 1 obviously is scarcity. You have to be scarce, and there's several reasons why this is important. Number 1, scarcity adds value. You need value. All relationships, all attraction, everything raises in value if it's scarce, okay? When there's a limited supply of it. And when your job as an organism is to survive and replicate, and you want to attract the opposite sex, like a man wants to attract a woman, he feels like he has an evolutionary advantage if he gets a woman that a lot of people want but is scarce. Okay, now of course the guy's not walking around saying, oh, I want a scarce woman. He's walking around like pointing women out. Oh, she doesn't look scarce, she doesn't look. It's not that he's doing that, but his brain is is kind of grinding its gears and looking around for those kind of things. He might not be aware of it, but his subconscious is doing it. So he needs a scarce woman, because when you're scarce, it automatically implies that you're valuable, that a lot of people want you. And if a lot of people want you, it's telling him, well, there's a reason why a lot of people probably want her. She's probably amazing. She's probably this, she's that. So you need to be scarce. Scarcity raises your value. It's something that it shows that a lot of guys want you, and he wants the evolutionary advantage, because it does raise your survival and replication process, or statistics, or success rate, I guess you can say. And if he picks you up, then he got you, right? So raise your value by being scarce. And if you're not scarce, then come off scarce. Fake it till you make it. Seriously, if you guys can do it in the bedroom, you can do it walking the streets. Okay. So number 2 is actually creating your own value. And what I mean by this is drawing the line, okay? Or the like your standards. If you don't, there's a saying, if you don't, determine your value, then someone else will, or society will. And that's a very, very true in the world of attraction. If you don't walk the walk, talk the talk, smile, have the body language, the confidence day to day, and you let guys walk all over you. And when I say walk over you, it's very subtle. Women don't understand what I mean by that. Let me give you a great example. If you want a relationship, but the guy doesn't, and he gives you some bullshit excuse like, I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, but I'd love to talk to you and see where it goes. You need to say, you know what? Nah, I'm looking for a relationship. I have no problem taking it slow, but I'm looking for like a lot of women will say, no, okay, well, I'll sit and talk to you, and we'll hang out, we'll see where it goes. And then they're 6 months or a year down the road, and the guy's still hitting it without any commitment. The guy's walking all over you. He's treating you like a doormat because he knows he can do that. You basically lowered what I'm trying to say is you lowered your value, you lowered your standards just to keep the guy in your life. If you really wanted a relationship, now I always say don't bring it up in the beginning. But I think after 2 months, if you are still talking to the guy and you want a relationship and he didn't, then it's time for you to take a hike. Do not lower your value, your standards, just to keep a guy in your life. Women do it all. This is just one example. Women do it in so many different ways, okay? I know women who will say they don't want to, or they don't want something, then they dip, then they come back and say never mind this, and the guy's like, okay, well, now I know I got you. It's just a bunch of little things that women do that they don't even realize that lower their value. You have to draw a line in the sand. If he makes a move on you and you go with it, even though you weren't ready for it, that's another thing. I tell women all the time, if you're not ready if a guy makes a move on you and you're not ready for it, you need to push him back. And again, in a nice flirty, don't tell him, hey, what are you doing? Like, stop. but in a nice flirty, hey, control yourself kind of way. You need it. Again, you don't let them down. It's like letting them down after a breakup. Do it very subtle. Do it very don't be real harsh with it. Just say, as cute, give them, I always say, it's like a sandwich kind of thing. Give them a compliment, then turn them down, then compliment again. Just say, as cute as you are, this isn't who I am. You got me confused with me on a third date, or you got me confused with me in a relationship. Smile, kiss them, and then keep going with it, okay? Or then switch subject, keep talking. But if a woman lets it happen, then the guy's expecting that. He's expecting that he has that power over you every time. And I'm not saying it's wrong to put out the first date, because it's not. I don't care what any woman says. I'm a guy. I know. A guy already determined your value, and a guy already knows or puts you in a category of what he wants to do with you. Dating, friend zone, friends with benefits, all that, girlfriend material. Here he knows what he wants to pretty much do with you. So don't think just because you put out date 1 is going to make a difference than if you put out date 30. Either way, it's still going to be the same, okay? So number 3 is do a lot of touching. I'm reading from this thing. Do a lot of touching in the beginning, then pull back. Guys are physical, sexual, and visual by nature. When you're touching him, you're like, ooh, all over him. He's taking it as a cue that, 1, you're breaking barriers, okay? 2, it shows that you're interested. And 3, it shows that he feels like he's doing something right. And when the guy's ego is strictly based on how well he provides and satisfies for a woman, it drives him crazy. It drives him crazy. He's like, oh man, she likes me. She's all over me. She's very sexual. She's very, just all over me physically. She wants me. But then when so you gave him a gift, basically. I always call this the invisible gift. Think of it as you gave him this gift, right? You're touching him. You're giving him this affirmation, these good feelings. And then you pull back. He's probably thinking, well, what the hell did I do? And when I say pull back, do not play hard to get, ladies. Do not play hard to get. Just lean back on it a little. Just don't do it as much, or mess with his mind a little bit. Again, I hate mind games. I hate playing games, playing hard to get. But pull back a little bit, just to make his brain kind of snap. Get him out of that routine, out of that allure, and make him so he feels, well, what the hell's going on? Why is she doing this anymore? Then he might have to act. He basically has to spark it again, right? He has to do something to spark that flare, that relationship, that fire. So he has to come forward and do something in order for it to happen. And then it's just an exchange from there, okay? So a guy in the beginning, again, very sexual. He likes to touch, he likes to feel, he likes to say, this, he likes to say that. And for girls, kind of going with it, touching him, alluring. When I say touching him, I mean put your hand on his chest, grab his arm, hit him when he's makes a joke, put your hand on his knee, those kind of things. Grab his muscle, whatever it is. And then you pull away. He's like, oh shit, what just happened? He's gonna think, did I do something wrong? Just like all you think. Every woman I'm talking to, a lot of my clients, they feel like they did something wrong. They're trying to analyze, what did I do wrong, or why is this the way it is? Or they're trying to get in his head, help me, Elliot. Why is he pulling away? Why is he doing this? And the guy's gonna think the same thing. Okay, if you show a lot of tension in the beginning and then kind of pull back, which kind of gets me on to number 4, which is elusiveness. Elusiveness is much different than playing hard to get. A guy likes to know that while it's easy for him to get you, it's harder for other guys to attract you. That shows that he has, or makes him feel that he has something that other guys don't. And secondly, it makes him feel that you like him, or that he, that you're trustworthy towards, I want to say trustworthy towards him, but you're more trustworthy. It's really hard for guys, again, you're elusive, it's really hard for guys to get you, but it was easy for him, and it makes him feel good about himself. It makes him feel like he has something that other guys don't have, and it just builds attraction. So he's going to keep you around more likely. And again, I'm not saying put out, I'm not saying make it easy for him, but just let him, again, you can still kind of do this allure trick with him, back and forth kind of thing, but make it seem like it's very hard for him, or it's very hard for other guys to get you, while it's easier for him. Easier. That doesn't mean it has to be easy, just easier, okay? And it makes him feel like he has some. Again, it's all about advantages. It's all about survival and replication. It's about one-upping someone. And if he can do that, it's giving him the illusion that he has something, an advantage over other guys, something that they don't have. And that wins a guy over every time. Men are all about masculinity, providing, satisfying. If he feels like he could do something for you that other people can't, he's going to have the illusion and feel okay, I got to do something for her or she's going to leave. And number 5, it's low risk, high reward. You always have to come off like you can give more than you can take. Both sides of relationships. That's what a relationship's all about. There's reasons we get together, okay? It's not just, hey, I like you. There's reasons, evolutionary, survival, long-term reasons why we get in relationships. Not just the compatibility, not just the commitment, not just the love. It's all about goods and services. I hate to say that, but it is. It's all about what's it called? Giving services and reproducing and resources and like all these different things. And if you guys come together and you show that you're a high reward woman, meaning you have a lot to give, that again, you're scarce, that you're valuable and all that, while not being crazy. I'm not saying women are crazy, but you know what I mean. While not being crazy, while not being over the top, while not having these red flags, while not having all this baggage, then you're gonna come off very valuable to a guy. And he's just like, why would a guy not want to be with that? Okay, so with that being said, there you go, ladies. Sorry I went on a little bit with this. We're over 11 minutes, but I love you. Take care and peace.